Hello friends, in this video we are going to see how to use the if function in MS Excel and its various variants. So here I have a set of data consisting of the name of the students and the marks obtained by each of them. Now suppose it is given that if you get more than 40% you pass, and if you get less than 40 then you fail. Now if you want to plot the result of each and every student against this mark, then we can simply use an if function instead of manually scrutinizing each and every figure and assigning a grade. So, as every function in Excel, it will begin with an equal to operator. Then we type if. First, we have to enter the logical test, that is, what is the criteria for giving a true or a false. So, the criteria is if the marks, we select the cell where the marks is stored. So if P2 is more than 40, then we have to we have to punch what Excel should give an output if the condition is true. So if B2 is more than 40, then the student is pass, and then we have to enter the output should be if this criteria is not satisfied. So if the criteria is not satisfied, then the student is fail. So we see that over here, since the student had obtained only 30 marks, Excel has given the output as fail since the marks is less than 40. Then we can copy paste this formula in all our cell in the entire column, and the results get plotted against each and every student. Now in this case, we had only two conditions. If the student gets more than 40 marks, he has passed. If he gets less than 40, then he is failed. Now suppose you have to plot the results under three criteria. That is, if the student gets less than 40, he is fail. If it is more than 40, he is pass. And if it is more than 60, then he is pass with distinction. So over here, since there are more than one criteria, there are more than two results, fail, pass and distinction. We are going to use a nested if. A nested if is an if function within an if function. So how are we going to do this? So equal to if. First, a logical test. So if the marks obtained is more than 60, if it is true, then Excel will get the output as distinction. Now, if the answer is false, that is, the marks is less than 60, then again Excel has to see whether it is more than 40 or less than 40. So we again use the if function, and the logic is if the marks obtained is more than 40, then the answer is pass, and if it is less than 40, the answer is fail. So if we copy paste this formula in all the cells, we see that Sumit had got 70 marks, which is more than 60. So the output is distinction. For Rita, who got less than 20, it is fail. For Reena, who got from 40 to 60 range, is pass. So over here, we have used a nested if, that is an if within an if function. The next use of if can be when it is clubbed with the and function. Suppose you are applying for a college and the college has defined the criteria as the student can be admitted only if he gets at least 50% in both maths and English. Over here, I have plotted the marks of 10 students in maths and in English. So over here, we have two conditions. The student has to get more than 50% in maths and he has to get more than 50% in English in order to be admitted. So over here, since if you see in the previous if formulas, we had defined only one criteria, that is the marks is more than 40. Over here, however, we have to define two criteria. Marks in maths also has to be more than 50 and in English also. So we write if, then we use the AND operator. Once we are in, so over here we are within the AND operator. As you can see that AND is highlighted. So over here we can define multiple criteria separated by the comma operator. So if this is less than equal to 50, comma, we do not close the brackets right now. Within this bracket of AND, we can define as many criteria as we want. Marks in English. So once we close this bracket, we see that we have defined a logical test. That is the criteria that we have to search. In our logical test, we have defined an AND function within which we have defined two criteria, marks stored in B column and marks stored in C column. Both has to be more than 50. So when Excel will see this formula, it will check if both the conditions are true, that is B3 and C3 both are above 50. If the value is true, then we can mention it as admitted, and if it is false, then not admitted. Now, if we copy this formula in all the cells, we see that Sumit had got 45 in English and 70 in maths. That is, in one subject he got less than 50. That is why he is not admitted. Whereas Amit has got 50% in both. Therefore, he is admitted. So this is how we use if and function. That is where we have to give an output basis the results of all the criteria. All the criteria have to be true to give a true answer. Otherwise, the Excel will show the false output. And next is an if or function. Suppose it is said that individuals can vote only if he or she has a valid ID proof. Now, there can be different ID proofs. You can have a PAN card, Aadhaar card, passports, driving license, etc. So over here, say we have plotted whether each person has any of these three government ID proofs. For example, Amit has PAN card, but he does not have Aadhaar card and passport. So since he has one government ID proof, he will be eligible to vote. Whereas Reena has only passport where all and she does not have the other two. So over here we are going to use an OR function. So just as an AND, over here also, once we type OR and open brackets, with the help of comma separators, we can put in as many criteria as we want. So either the individual can have a PAN card, or a passport, or an Aadhaar card. And we close. If any of these three conditions are true, then he is eligible. If all these conditions are false, only then will he be tagged as not eligible. So over here we can see that Meena has none of these three voter ID proofs, so she was not eligible, whereas others who had at least one ID proof was eligible. So that's it for this video. I hope the concepts of if, nested if and if or are clear to you. Thank you.